What's up, real world? It's your girl Dayla. And this is Need That Podcast. I want to welcome you back to the third episode. So today is a special episode because, for one, I not only have a blessed man, a great man right beside me, but just like that first episode, it's someone that's bloodly related to me, someone that I find dear to in my heart because, in many ways, he's taught me certain things as I grew up by just watching him. Right? He's a teacher. He's a preacher. He's a leader. He's a son, he's a grandson, he's a cousin, he's a friend, and just so many more things. A businessman, an entrepreneur, a business owner, and business owner, right? Businesses
right.
Owner, right? Yeah.
All of that,
all of that. But I want y'all to help me welcome to Need That Podcast, to Need That Community, someone who's been in the community and been supporting and been helping and been shouting me out and sharing every post and liking and commenting. My man's my big cousin, Gerald McLeod. Thank you. Clap
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
It was good. I'm good. The way we brought it in was a wonderful way to bring it in. That the atmosphere of what y'all don't know, for the ones who don't know, we just got through with an event of his that just, it was just powerful in here. Like the Holy Spirit was literally in here, like from start to finish. From the speakers that spoke, from the prayers that we prayed, the things that we prayed over, and everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Today is about healing through the pain. Something that I find very endearing because this is something that we personally had to go through not too long ago and still going through, to be honest with you, just different levels of it, right? Which is why I chose you. Like I already knew I wanted you as a guest because I hit you up like last year about it.
Right.
But the title, the whole subject of the video, I didn't really necessarily know yet. And the day I texted you, God literally put it in my spirit like right then. And I was like, oh, I'm about to text this girl right now. Because this is the perfect two people to talk about it if somebody's going to talk about it to me. Yep. You know what I mean? And while we talk about it, like every episode that will be posted on here, like every episode that you will see, I always wanted to speak to you some way, shape, or form. So it might not be the same healing we had to go through. It might not be the same situation that we face. It might be something else that you're going through. Your parent did something to you. A friend did something to you. You did something to yourself by not listening to the people that told you don't do it. But the healing through the pain, that thing is so strong because some people might ask, like, why do we got to heal through the pain? Why we can't heal after it stopped hurting? But the necessarily fact is the person that you were, that version of yourself that you were when you got hurt, you can't stay that version. Because when you go out and you trying to help somebody else, but yet you're still in that hurt space, you can't necessarily help them the way you're supposed to. You know?
That's true.
So that's why this episode, again, is just a big episode for me, a big subject matter, because healing through the pain is something that through is the part that I had to put it in all caps when I was writing my notes down, because it was like through, that's the part that's really the strongest part. Not the heal. Yes, healing is strong. Yes, the pain part is strong, but healing through the pain, because everybody think that you're healed once it stopped hurting. No, you got to start the healing process right then and there. Wow. So I want my first question, right? The first question I have for you is, what I think I know the answer, but I might not. So what was the situation that taught you the process of healing through the pain?
Okay, what was the situation that taught me the process of healing through the pain?
Yeah.
I have to say it was, to be honest with you, it was out the grandma passed. Like that was rough. And it, even a couple of years after that, I had to learn, but that was the process of through. I like when you say it through.
Yeah.
That was the process of me, just really understanding what it really is now.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a situation that happened for all of us. That it was like, what we're gonna do. But that just taught me how to start that. So yeah.
Yeah. I would say the same for me. That was the process that situation was the one that it opened my eyes to a lot. When she passed, it was like a few weeks. For those who don't know, our grandma.
Right. That's all we know to say.
Yeah. Our grandma is the great late Apostle Brenda J. McLeod. So if you don't know her, yeah, you wish, that you had met her. Everyone who met her or has had some time with her says the same exact thing of how they miss her, how much she was to the world, how much she was to their life, and the mother she was to them, the grandmother she was to them, that friend she was to them. She'll tell you what it is through love. That was the first time that you could really experience somebody talking to you through love, but telling you about yourself. And she wasn't scared what your response was going to be. Because she's going to ask you if you want lunch afterwards. Hurt your feelings, made you cry, might make you mad, but you're going to eat lunch with her afterwards every time. But that we lost her back in 2018. And that was a time that definitely opened my eyes to, wow, like this is going to hurt for a while. I know it is. She was literally the centerpiece of our family. You know what I mean? To our bloodline. But knowing that it was gonna hurt me, it was nothing else that you could do about it. You had to move on. You had to keep going. Every time you woke up the next day, you knew that you had to keep moving somehow, some way, and be the person that she prayed for you to be, and that she knew that you would turn out to be.
That's
you know what I mean? So, how did that process go for you?
It was definitely challenging. Like I like the part you talk about pain. Like it was me dealing with that pain at that moment.
Yeah.
Times that I knew that healing needed to take place.
Yeah.
It was rough, but I'm grateful for the process and where I am now.
Yeah. Yeah. That process was very, very much challenging. And I was in school at the time. I had just got to Central. And like the crazy thing is, she had called me the day before she passed. Like the day before she passed is the day I moved in, like into my dorm. And she called me like literally right after I stopped unpacking stuff. I'm laying down and I was just looking out the window, preparing myself for the next week. She called me and she just, checking on me because, fun fact, we both went to the same college, different times in life, but Lewisburg College. He went there years ago, and then I went there years after he did, and that was one of the things we connected on as well. Like coming back circle, I'm like, man, was the food like that when you went there, or was it like that when you were there? And we would just connect on so many things. But with her knowing, she checking on me like, how do you think you're gonna like it there? Do you see yourself doing good there? Things of that matter, and I told her yes, and we said I loved you, said the goodbyes and all of that. And the next day was the day that I got the call about it. But with that, it was just like you said, that pain is something that I could never explain to anybody.
Right.
But it gave me such an eye opening to my relationships that I was going through, friendships or whatever the case was, holding on to people that was in my past that I needed to let go or whatever, because it was the matter of I lost somebody that I would have never asked to leave.
Right.
So if you're here and you're not helping me in no way, shape, or form that I know she could help me in, then I don't need you in my life. You know what I mean? And it helped me with that. And I'm thankful for her because she taught us how to keep going through anything. Like even going back years before when we lost Aunt Kay.
Yeah. Oh,
and the way that grandma handled herself in front of us was something that I looked at her and I studied her and I was just like, I ain't see grandma cry not once. But it was the times that we
definitely stayed strong.
Yeah, you know what I mean? She showed us strength. She showed us you have to keep going. Because in her eyes, I can only imagine in her mind, she's going, well, I still have 4 other kids that's dependent on me. And I still have my 6 grandkids that's dependent on me. So I can't break down right here. She knew her position to us. She knew who she was to us. And if she was to break, she knew that we was not going to be too okay. She knew we wasn't going to hold up at all.
Wow.
But before that situation, before that you got the news and everything, what was your outlook on healing through the pain? Did you know that was even a thing necessarily?
No, I didn't. Even down to my personal life, relationships and friendships and all that type of stuff. Like it calls for me to kind of look at self.
Yeah.
Kind of the eye of the matter, like understanding what I have to get together. Financial things. Wisdom.
Yeah.
Those inner things.
Yeah.
So this is a very good topic.
Yeah.
Start
thinking about your life like
man. I know I had to heal, but
yeah.
But yeah, and I still am. That's the thing about it.
Yeah.
Like now, sometimes we have to know what we have to go through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I really, does everything deserve a response? Okay. Oh, I need to pause before I resend the email. Those type of things.
Yeah.
It's those things that we kind of look over. Um, and then, like we say, watching, grandma, stick through things.
Yeah.
Um, it made me think about that. Like, man, she ain't say nothing about that, but now I get it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, like let me make sure I pay this. Let me make
Yeah.
let me make sure I do all of this. So,
Yeah.
like I said, it's still there, but I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a lot that we learned from her just by
Yeah.
watching her. And like you said, still going through the process because some days you'll be fine. And again, this was back in 2018. We're in 2023 now, but some days you'll be fine, and then some days something might happen that that you could have just went to the house about and just sat there and talked to her about it. Or if you just want to forget it, you can go to the house and sit there and while she drinking her coffee, eating whatever she eating, or offering you some lunch, you can talk about it over a meal or something. And it's like sometimes Burnett actually brought this up this past Sunday. Shout out to one of my cousins. She's the baby of the cousins, baby of the six. But she brought it up while with the Mother's Day when we giving out the flowers and stuff. And she said that was a love. No one has ever loved me the way that Grandma loved me, and that honestly brought tears to my eyes because I'm like, she's not lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like
That is true.
nobody ever showed us that. And like I said, she would tell you the truth. She would tell you things that you might not want to hear, but she had to tell it.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time we was in church and she was preaching. And she was like, "I can't go to hell because of y'all. I got to tell y'all what God is telling me to tell you. It's just up to you to take it." And that's just an example of how she was with us, and not just us as her grandchildren or her kids, but us as the ones that was her spiritual children, her spiritual grandkids. Right. We got so many people out here that we call cousin and auntie and uncle simply because of grandma's leadership and her love. You know what I mean? And like I said, that love that she showed us, like you don't get it from everybody. It's something that the world might not even know that love right now because the world going so crazy. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Jesus.
But like you said, you didn't have the outlook, or the outlook on it wasn't the same that it is now, which many people don't. Like you have to go through a certain situation that really show you life. Like, oh wow, like this is not what I thought it was at all. This is completely different. But did you understand that you were hurting? Like so through your younger age, right? Going back, did you understand? I don't want to say why you were going through what you were going through, but did you understand? Did you even know that you were actually hurting in those times, or did you just thought this was life and you just going with it and you just trying to find your way through?
Like I knew I was hurting, but there were times that it kind of hit me harder, if I can say that.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was hurting, but there definitely were times I was like, oh wow, um, this is really something. And those times, and I can say this, those times of spending alone, and a lot of people probably would need to hear this, were beneficial for me more than anything because naturally I'm not really the most social.
Right.
Of course, and you know that, family.
Right.
And it's taken the wrong way at times, but during that season, I needed those moments to actually get Juro together.
Right.
There we go. So to wrap that around, like I needed that.
Yeah.
And to really know that like certain gifts and things to come out of me, like the event that we had today. Now that's taken a lot of time. It's just, and it still hasn't really, like people may say, scratched the surface or where it needs to be. But just to see how God moves, I'm glad I took that time to really, okay, you need to do this, you need to fix that, you need to, okay, restoration was a result of today. You know what I'm saying? Still saying, oh man, like in spite of what you might think, keep seeking people, keep doing what you need to do. So yes, like healing through the pain, definitely, because certain things when we're healed, in certain seasons, um, things happen. Like it's certain like things like you have like epiphanies and revelations and everything. You like, oh man, like that came through me asking God to help me.
Right.
You know, me worshiping.
Yeah.
And I, we churchy somewhat, and
Right.
I know you definitely will let me say a scripture.
Yeah, you good. You say whatever you want to
But
say.
when the Samaritan woman in the Gospel of John, the first verse says there was a must needs that Jesus traveled through.
Mm-hmm.
There goes that word through.
Right.
I had to go through that season. I had to go through that time.
Right.
It hurt me. But it prepared me for other things that's getting ready to come.
Right.
So because I went through that, I can go through what's coming.
Yeah, that's strong too, because that's real strong. Because sometimes I know, especially like within my generation, and I'm not gonna just say it's Gen Z because it might be in all generations, but some people, we do this thing where we forget what we came through already. So that's why I said that was strong that you said that. Like, I got through this so I can go through something else, because we forget that we went through this at the age of 5 or the age of 7 or in our teenage years, not knowing that we were getting through something. We just like, oh, that's a part of life. No, yes, it's a part of life, but no, you're actually getting through something. So this bill that might be late right now, even though you're getting paid in the next 2 weeks, you're going to get through that. The car that's acting up right now, you didn't have a car at a point in time. You was walking everywhere.
Listen.
You know what I mean? You had a bike or whatever the case was, but you now have a car, so you're going to get through that. So that's why I said that was strong that you said that. And something else you brought up, like the just getting through the hurt and pain and stuff. I was looking at an interview not too long ago with Nick Cannon. He was just talking about himself and things, and he talked about his scars. And he said, I wear my scars proudly, simply because that shows somebody else that I got through whatever it was that caused that scar.
Come on.
It wasn't just a cut. It wasn't something that's still bleeding out. I'm not bleeding out anymore. It healed. Right. And as I'm healing from that, I might be going through something else, but I'm going through it. And like you said today, it's not about us. It's about what we're doing for somebody else.
That's right. That's
like,
right.
Even this platform, like, not for me. It's not for me to get anything out of it, but to help somebody.
Wow.
Because I might not know I'm helping you at the moment, but just the fact that I know somebody out here needs this. Somebody out here needs to know about how to have royal vision. They don't know what royal vision is necessarily. Somebody needs to know about what healing through the pain look like, or what it is, or they might be healing through pain right now, not knowing it. You know what I mean? So that's just deep that you said that. And I appreciated that. So what's your outlook on healing through the pain now?
Okay.
What steps do you take to secure your process of it?
That kind of goes back to that finding time to just build and kind of get my mind together.
Yeah.
I didn't know that self-care was so important.
Right.
Right. And a lot of times I was already doing self-care. Like I would kind of go to, like, whether it's Barnes and Noble's walk, or I just started like going to lakes.
Yeah, they're very peaceful.
Got a couple of spots in Winston, but I might go down there and write a song.
Yeah.
But it's those moments. Like I said, I like bowling before. I was doing those things, but I wasn't understanding that it helps you heal.
Yeah.
Because the interesting thing about prayer, or people may say meditation or devotion, or whatever, as you have it, it helps us to get us together.
Right.
So that's like my outlook now. Like, all right, God, I don't want to dislike this person like that. I don't. I'm glad this is a good topic. It's helping me, man. Yeah. I don't want to hold on to hate. I don't. Yes, those inner things. I just got this book, and I put it out there. It's by Van Moody. It's called The I Factor. Helping build relationships with yourself. Come on, a lot of times we want an entourage, we want everything, and that's cool, but can I love everybody effectively who I'm around. If I don't got me together,
Nothing
I
else.
can't. The great proverb, "Love thy neighbor as thyself."
Yeah.
So those moments while I'm out here, God, help me. I don't want to. What I'm saying, I don't want to do this, and what I'm saying, I got when I'm doing an event, when I'm doing something, I want to be the best that I can be.
Right.
And I want to love the right way, and that's where I've been for the past couple of years. Even with facing some things I had to let go.
Yeah.
Like, I want a good heart.
Yeah.
And whether that's from a distance or whatever it is, that's my outlook now. So hope
Yeah.
that helps
Yeah,
somebody.
that's good. And I hope and it should. Also when you do that, don't don't listen to the narrative of that you're being selfish, if that makes sense.
Ooh, that
Because
was good.
people can take you doing self-care work. Like
Listen,
you said, it's about being by yourself. Now, we're not sitting here saying shut out the world on a
yeah,
daily
absolutely
basis.
not. Absolutely
No,
not.
because you still need some people. You still need to connect with people. You
Yes, you
still need
do.
that fellowship.
That's right.
Because if you're by yourself too much, that's a dangerous thing as well.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
when you do take that time out, and those people, and then that helps you see who are the leeches and who are actually feeding you. And it's crazy because the last episode I talked about detoxing the brain. It was just me, and I was just talking about detoxing the brain of how important that is. But and I brought up lakes and rivers and just taking those walks or going to read or doing that hobby that literally brings you peace. Mine was writing. Mine is writing. And I'm trying to get back into reading as much as I would like to, but having those mornings to myself, not just watching the TV show, but actually enjoying nature,
Right.
enjoying the peace that I bring to myself, enjoying the love that I bring to myself, detoxing my brain from what happened yesterday or whatever the case is.
Wow.
But people around, and I said that it came clear to me simply because in the times that you were doing that, you were being by yourself and you were taking that time out. Again, this is right after our grandma passed. Yeah. Everybody took it. Everybody went their own way about it. Everybody did their own thing to heal and to get through their grief and
Right.
have that effect. But Girls was, he went to his own world. And I was proud and happy for you that you did that you went to yourself. I remember when we ran into each other at Sheets, and I always laughed about it because I was just going to Sheets to get something to drink or something, and I saw your car. I'm like, that look like Gerald car.
Same car. God gonna bless. God gonna bless me soon. I've been a little faithful to try to help people, but this Toyota be fine.
Hey man, that's what I'm looking for. But it's gonna come. It's gonna come. But I'm like, that look like drill car. And in that conversation, and I'm not afraid to say it, like throughout life, we had got distant a bit. Yep. And like everybody does, because you're growing up in your way, I'm growing up in my way, you're getting older, I'm getting older. Think the same, think a lot. I mean, think differently, whichever way it was. But that night when we spoke, that was one of the most intimate times that I could say we had, because yes, the subject started on grandma, but it was like we saw something in each other where it was like, oh, we're on one accord.
That was needed.
That was needed, very much needed.
I remember that. I forgot about that day.
Very much needed. And I think about it a bit, off and on, because especially getting ready for this episode, because I'm like, okay, what am I going to talk about? Like, I don't want to just bring out a tearjerker and talk about grandma, but at the same time, I know it's something in that conversation that can help somebody. Right. Again, whether it's someone that you lost, or if you lost yourself, because sometimes we lose ourselves in this world, and because we've been through so much pain that we never healed from, we never took time to heal from, we lose ourselves because we don't remember who that person was that got hurt in the beginning. So we have to find our way back to that person, then bring that person up to speed, like, okay, well, this is where we are now.
Right.
And I think that moment was the moment for us where we was like, okay, I'm still in college, you done graduated, you doing your thing, you trying to find your way, I'm trying to find my way. But it's like we brought each other up to speed, like, oh no, this is where we are now. Oh, you're making sense. Right. Oh, I like the way you're talking. I like what you're talking about. And then it got us connected better than we was ever connected before, because it was like we found a common ground.
Common ground.
You know what I mean? So back to the whole taking that process, securing that process. Don't listen to people saying, "Oh, you're selfish. Oh, you always by yourself. Why you got to stay busy? Why are you doing this and why are you doing that?" It's because I'm doing something for myself so that I can help others. When you're not okay inside your internal being, when your spirit is not okay. I even read it in Proverbs, I believe, because I'm reading like the book of Proverbs for this month.
Okay.
And it's a group of us, but we're reading the book of Proverbs. And if I'm not mistaken, it said something about the spirit being broken. When the spirit is broken, what can you do? And that's going back to making sure you're healing through the pain. Your spirit can be broken. Maybe you was under the wrong leadership and that person abused their power. Maybe you heard the wrong conversation. You actually listened to what they're saying instead of just let it roll off your back. But actually listening to the people. Don't listen to the naysayers saying that what you're doing for yourself is wrong.
Right.
That's the people that's literally eating off of you but not feeding you. So that should help you be able to cut them off. But that's enough of that.
Wow,
so,
that's good. That's good.
So
that's good. You helping me too.
So this segment, this is like the last part of it, right? But it's a segment that I'm trying to bring and keep it rolling with, and it's called "Man, Let Me Tell You." So this is a part where you tell us a story. You tell us, like a story. Tell us a story of something, basically of how you got here. Again, you got the businesses going, you have the bookman going, you got everything, a teacher, you've been a teacher, you've been a leader, you have your own events you're doing, that you're bringing souls in, and you're literally teaching them and helping them get closer to God. Tell us a story that literally got you here, that helped you. I know it's probably many events that happened to where that got you here, but one that, and it could be funny, it could be crazy, it could be both, either one.
They got they got me to this point somewhere.
To this point of like the whole healing through the pain and just you being the person, the being that you are now. Of course, we are still daily working on ourselves, but this person, and I'm sure I told you, but I always say, like, I'm proud of the person, you know what I mean, that you have become, that you're continuously becoming. Because again, we're first cousins, so we've known each other. He's known me all 25 years of my life. And I've known him ever since I was a baby all the way up until now. You know what I mean? So we've seen each other's growth. We've seen each other's pain. We've seen each other go through things, and we've seen each other deal with things. So what's the story where it got you here, where you was like, you know what? I can't be that person no more. I'm tired of being that person.
Man. Let me see. So it can be like any type of story.
Any type of story. This is your story. This is your story.
I will never forget. I went to this event in King, North Carolina. People might not know about it if they just. Anyway, and I was determined to sell my books.
Okay.
This is a funny. I got to be goofy somewhere. So I was determined.
Right.
And I remember somebody gave it. I know who it is, but I won't say no names.
Right.
But I'll tell you after.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I had a tent, but it was beat down from the floor down.
Okay.
Like, I felt so embarrassed, but I was determined.
Hey, you gotta keep going.
I had my little book set up. People was just just going by.
Yeah.
And this one man. Mm-hmm. I remember praying, and he stopped by, and he got some books.
Okay.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Still so defeated at the same time. But like that, after that, I felt like I could do anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need those moments.
Yeah.
And my tent was falling down, it was flaking down. I was like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I had my little pouch on trying to but so much has come out of that. My bookstore is still going, and just started a new project, the start of 2023 with the bookman, the storytelling, all that type of stuff, like Grandma with us. And, and it's just amazing to see all of this that we're doing. This, even with you, man, it's just everything is so good. Yeah. But I had to tell that story. Yeah. If you would have seen that tent, do I know where that tent is now? No. But
You had to leave it in the past. Got to leave it in the past.
But I went.
Yeah.
I went. I paid my vendor's fee.
Yeah.
And somebody stopped. And I remember, since we talking about grandma, I remember one time we was at the church. You know her stories. You talk about them stories.
Yeah.
I felt defeated. I was like, ain't nobody gonna get him. She said, her faith was it was so concrete, it was so strong. She said, you better get back out there and set the books up. I was like, okay. She was like, yeah, because you will go forth. It will, and now it's like, I'm ready. Even the day I was like, I'm ready for this. Man. Was I shaking up? Yes, but I was like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So that's my story.
Oh man, yeah, that brought a tear to my eye because that sounds just like her, and that's something that I think of on a daily basis, just thinking about us, like all the grandkids, because she poured so much into us just by being there. Like I constantly speak on our relationships with each other. And Nessa would bring up of how much, like the last word, like, I love how close y'all are and how much y'all, y'all see each other, y'all gonna hang out, da da da. And I'm like, that's because grandma put so much work in us. So much. Like she took her time to where she got one of us for the day, she's gonna try to get all for. Yeah. You and Nessa are already at the house, so we just about to come to the house and we're all together. If she's doing something, she needs y'all to come in, y'all watch over us, y'all help us. You might get us in trouble a little bit, but we were down for the ride. Nessa go get on all of us.
And I did get you.
Man, I remember, I don't know if you remember this. I had a toy car. One of the cars, like the little mechanical cars that kids have. And me and PJ was over there. I'm sure Brunette was there somewhere, but of course she was under grandma, so she wasn't with us. Always. And you and PJ had a conversation. I wasn't really in the convo.
Oh my God.
But I think you like dared PJ or something. You told him to go, something about going down the street or whatever. So PJ following you was like, I'm gonna do it. Me following PJ, I'm like, I'm with you. We go, and this is when Ted was still across the street. So
went all the way back. Lord.
This was years ago. And the only reason I think I remember it so much is because this is the first and only time grandma literally had to put her hands on us. Like she popped us. Because I think we scared her a lot because she didn't know where we was. And Ted brought us back up. We went down the street, down that hill, and we was about to make that corner. We was about to just go around the block.
And I was leading y'all?
You wasn't leading us. That's the thing. You and PJ had a conversation. I don't know what you told PJ, but he wanted to go down the street after that conversation. And I was like, I'm going to go with my cousin. Because at that time, me and PJ like this.
Yeah.
Because we so close in age. So we go down the street. Ted and his family on the tractor coming up the street, though. Stopped us, got the car, and put us on the tractor, brought us to grandma.
So I got one more story.
Go ahead.
I mean,
go ahead.
Do you remember Macaroni Grill?
I do.
Yeah, used to be in Winston. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. The hotel, I think it's still there, Hampton Inn or something. You got the Barnes and Nobles over there by the mall.
Okay.
Now it's like Twin Peaks or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
for those that's from the Trayfo.
Right. Y'all know what we're talking about. West Side.
But anyway, everybody eating. Mm-hmm. I done got all the cousins together. You know I'm about to say it. I said, let's go up here and let's go to the hotel. That's when Raheem, Kendall, all of us, we gone.
Yeah.
I done got y'all to the lobby. We throwing cookies all over the floor. I'm like, I done accomplished this. Man, we get back. Where you been? All I know is I got taken to the bathroom and got thumped on the head about 10, 15 times. And it wasn't even the power of the thumps. It was missing my head.
Yeah.
But it was just, I was kind of screaming because I was like, I'm really getting a whooping.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's one of my, bring y'all with me.
Yeah.
Let's go. That was one of the girls, I don't know.
Hey, that
discouragements to do whatever you want to do.
That was big cuz, man. And we followed. You don't got to tell us. We down for the ride. Why not?
Lord.
But man,
one God do a work.
I'm telling you. But yeah, that's just this whole conversation, this whole time, this whole day, like from Emmaus 4 all the way up until now. Like today was a day that I was excited about. I was excited about our conversation every time, we set a date. We done set like 5 dates.
Yeah.
And something happened every time. every time. And then that was like, but I took it, like you said, with you selling the books, and it took that one person. You know what I mean? And the way that grandma taught us, and the way we learned even the teachings in the church, even if it wasn't from grandma, but those who learned from her and taught us as well, it was like the fact that this, for whatever reason, this one episode, it keep having these complications.
Right.
Something keep coming up, or we're misdating whatever the situation is. Like, I know for sure this is something that I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Like that last time was the for sure. I was upset. I might have shed a few tears because it was like, why does this keep happening? I'm all the way in Winston. I mean, downtown Winston, celebrating Nessa's birthday, and I get to the car, and I was in a rush the whole day. I had a meeting at work in Durham. Then Nessa had an event at 1. The meeting didn't stop till 1. So I'm like, I'm gonna be an hour and something late anyway. All of that, and then I look in the car. I'm like, I don't have none of my stuff. Fact that my brother, he wasn't answering at the time because he was busy doing something. He's a busy man himself.
Right.
So he was doing something to where, so he couldn't answer me. Then I'm like, okay. Then I try to call you. You didn't answer. I'm like, Gerald, he probably do text better. He like me. So I text you real quick. And I was just like, man, like, but this is not going to stop me. Like, even this past Sunday, because I also do poetry. I'm a poet. So it's a certain goal I have with my poetry when I'm out and I'm speaking and I'm saying it in front of people. It's a certain goal I'm doing. And I tested it Sunday. I took a test and I did it. Failed epically. But it was okay though.
That was for what?
So I just want to, recite my poetry without looking at the paper as much.
Okay.
Basically. And I tested the theory. I learned it. I was reciting it. I was saying it back to myself at home and at work and all of that. Even that morning, I was reciting it the whole morning before I went to church. And I got up there, mine went blank. Like, it was quiet. And they just like, it's all right. It's okay, baby. Keep it going. Woo, woo. And I'm like, okay. I said, you know what? That's all right. I'm about to go get the paper. Because I'm not about to stop. This is a gift God put in me. He didn't put it in me for no reason.
And so you're doing wonderful.
I appreciate you. I was just like, I just kidding, but it's back to what you said when you said it only takes that one thing that helps you to believe. You know what I mean? So I already know that it touches people and it helps. I've been hearing prophecies. I've been hearing people talk to me, and I've been hearing God himself when it comes to it. But it's like, you can't let the little things stop you. And that's even going back to what this whole episode is about: healing through the pain.
Yes.
You can't let nothing stop your healing process.
Come on.
The hurt is going to hurt. But what hurts worse is when you don't do nothing about it and then you continue to go through life. Because at the end of the day, as many times, whenever you wake up that day, however many times you wake up in a year or whatever the case is, the fact that you're still living, life is going to keep life. Whatever happens today is going to happen. So if you're going to allow that to, and don't get me wrong, I know how powerful it can be, but it's not more powerful than what God has placed in you if you allow it to work, So I just want to thank you for coming here. I want to thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for your support. Because like I said, you've been supporting literally since day one. Anything I put up, you sharing it, you comment, and you liking it, loving it, and all of that. And we're one and the same when it comes to, I don't want to say we don't really care what people think, but at the same time, we don't really care what people think.
We alike.
We don't.
Yeah, we are.
I'm not going to care about what you think because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's something I've watched you do for years, even with the aftermath.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
So you probably know starting back
all the way back from the tip top of it.
Before I was released to get on out with them.
Yeah, when grandma was just like, this is what we're doing this week. And everybody like, what? Okay, and I better see y'all there. And even if you didn't see people there, you're still going about it. And not only are you still going about it, you're bringing in the people that you know is going to support you.
And you will come with the youth here when that stuff. So so you know about this place.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here, but I remember. I remember.
I was just starting then. It was God was putting it in me. So I'm on my own now. So it is what it is.
But it's like she prepared us though. That's another thing I always talk about. She really prepared us. That love, that it wasn't even tough love, but tough love. that she was giving us that go back out there, well, you better keep selling the books, or
Yeah.
well, you got to keep going.
I
Are you
was
going?
like, bro, like I know she.
Did you not hear what I said? Nobody came out there.
That
Only
was the
one
first time
man.
I actually seen her in that light though.
Yeah,
Like it was it was the OG coming out of
yeah.
her. Go back out there and set them up. It was just like boom. So well, thank you. Like and you thanked me. Thank you. I know we family, but I appreciate you doing this. I'm proud of you,
Appreciate
and
it.
it's just wow. I'm in awe. Even from the
Thank you.
event we had, it's
Yeah,
still stuck. Like,
yeah.
and then this is just
I don't know.
wow.
So, do you have, before we go, two things? Do you have any advice for the viewers? I know we really done gave some advice already. You
Yeah.
gave some great advice already of healing through the pain, but anything else that you know you just feel you need to say?
All I got is 2 words. Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep
It
going.
sounds easy. It's not sometimes, but you gotta keep going. That's deep. That's a lot in just those 2 words, really.
Yeah.
And then this last part, just lay out everything that you have going on. Let them know your social medias and everything like that, so where they can reach you, or next event they can actually come, show up, come through and everything.
Awesome. Yeah. Honestly, like Facebook, if you find me, Gerald McLeod, you will see all I'm doing. I mean,
Right.
like that connects you to
Everything.
everything that I'm doing, pretty much. And that's really why I post a lot of my stuff. I'm working on some website stuff, but it's GDM Empowerment. That's like an event we had today. Aftermath International Connections. York at Services is like my business for grass and hauling and stuff like that. So just helping employ people. Yeah, just follow me there. You can find out everything. You can find out everything. I'm grateful for helping people. Thank you so much. Everything that people do to support and all across the city and surrounding areas. It means so much to me.
So I want to thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for being here. We got a little live audience and stuff, so I want to thank y'all too. But thank
That's funny.
thank y'all for clicking. Thank y'all for the subscription, because I just believe y'all already subscribed. Yes, and
There
if
you
you're
go. Y'all
not,
better subscribe
do
now.
that. Hit that button.
Subscribe.
Hit that like. Make that comment. And once you do it, I want to say welcome to the Need That community. Love y'all, and keep it going. Like you said, keep going. Keep healing, keep loving yourself as well as others. Thank y'all. Peace.